Is everyone positioned correctly? Will everyone get a good start? Naughty Dragon 05 is a bit behind again. Psycho Kaiser may get the head start. It looks like Psycho Kaiser is a bit in front. They are about head to head, and they are starting. We are race 2, we are IBGTC, and it looks like Naughty Dragon is lining up better. But let's see who starts better. It is green, and again Charmander has a drastically impressive start. Psycho Kaiser losing quite a few positions, immediately being in the middle there and getting touched by a BMW. Side by side, and Thomas Wilson edges over, and that was Akito taking out Thomas Wilson. Mentrix is currently trying to get a position from his fellow BMW driver Trazione Integrale. perhaps, maybe, wants to impede. And that was a slide caught by Charman Joe there. Very close for the Sri Lankan driver, and Cycle Kaiser knows there's a back markers up ahead, but the back markers are fighting their own. Hello and welcome. Today we are in North Holland, Zandvoort. We are traveled back in time a bit to the 2019 layout of Zandvoort in order to race today at the non-banked corners. This is IVGTC. This is round 4. We are in the Dutch province of North Holland. And let's take a look. We are in qualifying. Let's take a look at the standings. Currently, Emilia Anderson looks like the leading person in the qualifying session. Overall leading, interestingly enough. We haven't seen this in quite some time from a VTuber. Followed by Lekaseas in second position. Pavel Peter. Marco VR. Mikel Arteta. Albert Georgi. Akito Asizagawa. Victor Masato. Tom Hartog. Christoph Retsch. Anatoly Bujnovic. Andrei Zetek, Yuri Nikolai, Adrian Dubrovka, K. Komil, whatever the first K stands for, GK Hawken, and I Mentrix. We got some familiar names. We got some new names today in the race. And I need, because we are in qualifying session here. And joining right now is Trazione Integrale, it seems. Interesting. But anyways. Let us go on a lap with someone. See who is far around the corner already. Ah, that's Chris Blue being turned around there. Tom Hartog is now coming across the line. So let's go on board with Tom Hartog into the Tarzanbocht, the first corner. Now after these short few corners we got into the Gerlachbocht, turn 2, this right-hander, and now this left-hander of the Hugenholzbocht. Going a bit slow here. Go through Punzerug and this left-hander turn 5 and the Rob Slotemaker bocht. And now this third gear right-hander, the Scheivlak. Straight on, stay on the left and cut the corner. The Masters bocht. And then we go into which I believe is the Marlboro bocht. And now we have the Renault bocht. But that is not what my track map tells me right now, it says Bocht 9 and Bocht 10, which is, of course, corner 9 and corner 10 in Dutch. And now we go into the Audi S, which now apparently is called Hans Ernst Bocht. I am confused, to say the least, by the track map I have here. We now get into the Kumho Bocht, the second to last corner, and now into the less banked than now Arje Luyendijk Bocht. We come onto the start-finish straight, and this was not a very good lap because of the start of the lap. And of course, I am joined today by my good friend T. Yes, I have some tea with me. Today, not the meme brand out of Yorkshire, but some lovely ginger lemon tea. Reminder for everyone at home, stay hydrated, get something to drink now before the first race starts because we are going to have full-on action. And I see we have a late joiner as well in the side of a Jag, Kageru Kanemoto. Lovely to see them in the Jag return. Let's go take a look at Emilia Andersson's lap now. Yes, he, she, it, they are doing rather well right now with a 36.152, and after the first corner they are about on time with each other. Let's see what Math has to say in the comments. My Italian lemon just finished. Have to make another one if I want to have tea. That is very unfortunate, but for the races as well, it's very important to stay hydrated during the event. Especially if you're in a voice chat call and having to talk the entire time. Not that I would know what it is like to talk the entire time during a race. Anyways, Emilia Andersson is looking good right now on the Delta, right up on par with their best time. This is looking much calmer than I would imagine such a top lap to go. However, Emilia Andersson is able to keep on par through the bochts and now goes into the Audi S. I already forgot the other name. Something with Holz, I guess. Hans Holz? No, something else. Anyways, into the second to last corner, on par still with their time. Can they improve in the last corner in the Arje Luyendijk Bocht? They are still on par with their time. What exactly will this lap be? No improvement. It was a 36.172. It's only 0.02 of a second down on their best time. Who is currently improving is Tom Hartog. They are 0.3 up on their time. Looking to improve up maybe even a place. Because they are kind of off the shot right now. Let's see. They're losing a bit time through the second to last corner. Can they save it through the Arje Luyendijk Bocht? Luyendijk? I don't know how to pronounce Dutch. Anyways, they improve their time but do not improve a position. Very unfortunate for the BMW driver, Tom Hartog, who I believe is Dutch. Yes, they are. Another person who's currently on a mission is Andrei Setek, the Oz Racing person, with a lovely new custom livery out today. Beautiful orange and green. Wow, I have to think about saying the color green. Okay, that is very disappointing from my side. But let's switch on to Akito Asasagawa. The Koneko Racing driver is currently 0.2 up on their time, but there are still a few corners to go. They could improve themselves, but they are losing quite some time through the Audi S. Let's see what they can do to the second to last corner. They improved just a tiny bit, but they are not up on their time right now. Arjen Luyendijk, are you happy with Susagawa? No, it doesn't seem to be an improvement this time around. Back to Andrej Zetek, who is currently about 2/10 up on their time. Let's see what they can do. The Porsche driver from the Czech Republic. The beautiful Czech flags on the ends of the rear wing. Saving up a bit of time. 4/10 up now on their time. Let's see what they can do through the other Arjen Luyendijk bocht. That is the most named name today, Arjen Luyendijk, but Andrej Zetek is improving on the time, and they are improving by 1 position. Well done to the Czech sim racer. Another person who's currently improving on their time is Le Casillas, the half Spanish, half Swiss driver who's driving under the Swiss flag. Just lost almost half a second in 1 corner. This was a screw-up, a royal screw-up if I do say so myself. However, there's still some corners left, so there's still the chance to improve themselves. Out of the Audi S, they get a better run this time around, and the second to last corner is nice to them as well. Arjen Luyendijk, what are you doing? You are giving Le Casillas a bit of a boost, but it is not enough to become overall P1. However, it brings them closer. And Akito Asuzagawa right behind them goes into overall P3. That is a very strong showing by the VTuber. Further back, we have Andrej Zetek again on a mission to improve their time. Losing a bit out of the Audi S, however. That is very unfortunate. The OS E-Racing driver, the OS E-Racing founder, actually is coming onto the start-finish straight. Just having a bit of time. But is it enough to improve on the time? No! They are just 0.02 of a second behind Christoph Retsch in qualifying. Mikel Arteta is next in line. Just lost a bit of time because there was a back marker. I believe that was Shike Håken. Just went off there in the back. Mikel Arteta about to improve in the Honda NSX. Very lovely to see such off-matter picks of cars as the Honda NSX. Actually, the first car that I ever did sim racing with is the Honda NSX, personally, because Project Cars 2 is where I started out with the sim racing genre. I know it is less sim racing than other titles, for example Assetto, Corsa, Competizione, in which we are racing here, but I started out with the NSX on Project Cars 2. Stu me, goddammit. And Mikel Arteta is improving on their time, and they are improving ahead of Merkur VR. Lovely run by Mikel Arteta. Unfortunately, they lost a bit of time. They could have gotten an even better time, but they still have time for another lap. And enough about the word time. Unfortunately, there is not a good synonym for that. Remember, everyone, to stay hydrated. Further down the line, we have Trazione Integrale, who are currently 1.5 seconds up on their time. This could improve them by 2 positions up ahead of Shike Håken, but they go off track. How unfortunate for the Koneko Racing driver. They are losing it onto the start-finish straight. They lost quite some time and they invalidated their lap, unfortunately. Coming across the line now. They are not going to improve that time. Further up ahead, Mikel Arteta is about on par with their time, saving a bit of time into the Audi S. And I'm saying time again, time and time again. So, improving on their delta out of the second to last corner and going into the Are You Lunatic both with a 2/10 advantage. Let's see where they can catapult them. Maybe they can get the position up ahead of Chris Blue, and they can! They qualify in P3 in their class, overall P5. Mikel Arteta, honestly, I'm sorry if I missed you participating earlier, but this is the first time I see that name. So, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club now. Gonna shake it up now. And that is what Mikel Arteta does. Challenging the likes of Pavel Peter and Le Casillas. Very strong showing. We are moving into race 1 now. We have 20 drivers on the grid. 20 drivers that can make a difference. Who will get the better start? Will it be Emilia Anderson? Ah, we've got a late joiner right now. We've got Bun. I believe they joined late last time as well. Wasn't that the same person? Let's see. Mocha Bun. No, Mocha Bun, of course. Mocha Bun is back there. Unfortunately, too late for qualifying, but just in time to be placed on the back of the grid and not having to start from the pits. So, there we go. Let's go through the qualifications then, one by one. We have Emilia Anderson in front of Le Casillas, Akito Sasagawa, Pavel Peter, Mikel Arteta, Chris Blue, Merkur VR, Albert Georgi, Victor Masato, Tom Hartog. Then we've got Rech, Zetek, Bujnovic, Dabrovka, Nikolai, Komil, Hawken, Mentrix, Drazione, Kanemoto, and Mocha Bun. Ooh, that is a beautiful livery. I like that livery. Who's driving it? That's an Austrian guy. Hey, Richard Leeds and Kevin Estre, and of course Sven Müller. Lovely. And today it is Mocha Bun racing with us in this car. Beautiful, beautiful, just beautiful. And that is Mocha Bun gone. I guess they forgot to press drive. Well, that's how quick it can go. Anyways, Emilia Anderson is starting the warm-up lap now. We have 35 minutes ahead of us of race 1. And I am almost already running out of tea. That is not good. Remember to stay hydrated. I am just your public service announcer right now. Everyone, remember to stay hydrated. Thank you for choosing TRACC.eu. I don't know what that is supposed to mean, but we have a disconnected seems. Someone disconnected. Can't quite figure out who. Someone disconnected. It is Andrej Zetek, unfortunately. It seems like Oz E-Racing will only be represented today by Pavel Peter, it seems. That is unfortunate. But anyways, a bit of tire cooling in the back going on there, going off the racing line. There's Andrej Zetek rejoining, but unfortunately they have to start from the pits now. They can start it all, that is. Back to the front, however. Soon they should be starting to line up in next to each other. I actually forgot how that is called. Double file. Double file. Yes, double file. That sounds good. So, Who will get the better start today? Will it be Emilia Anderson? Will it be Le Casillas? Or will there be an upset from the second row of Akito Asasagawa or Pavel Peter even? We know that Pavel Peter has a great pace when he gets into the rhythm. If he gets into the rhythm. Can they find the rhythm today is the question. But we are going to find that out. Just a few seconds. Who will get the head start? It looks like Le Casillas is further ahead. Hopefully they are within their assigned order. And there are some drive-throughs in the back of the grid. But the front, everything is safe. And Le Casillas gets the jump start on Emilia Anderson. However, Emilia Anderson on the inside. And that is some touching. However, Le Casillas managing to straighten out, and Akito Asasagawa gets to run on the second line of the grid. So far, everything seems rather clear. Akito Asasagawa pushing already, and Emilia Anderson now ahead. Akito Asasagawa also taking the jump on Le Casillas. They are side by side. And, oh, they almost touched there. I believe there was just an almost touch. What are they going to do? Pavel Peter is filing in behind and is getting overtaken now by Chris Blue, who is on a mission. The BMW driver from America has a new livery, it seems. And they are on a mission. Oh, Pavel Peter is losing places left, right, and center. Now being overtaken by Arteta too. Pavel Peter is not done with this position. They try to take the outside through the ODS, but that is a hard line to accomplish. They have to file in right behind their fellow driver for now. The first laps are coming in. Who has got the best first lap? It looks like Tom Hartog with the purple lap for now. Now Shike Hawken. That is a surprise from the Malaysian? I guess Malaysian Porsche the driver for the VTuber grid. Well done on getting that jump start in the first lap. Now let's view the statistics. Who has gotten the best start? That is Shike Hawken and Trazione Integrale, both making up 3 positions. And the worst start belongs to Adrian Dabrowka, losing 4 positions overall. Very unfortunate for the elf driver. Oh, there was a bit of a ping issue. Albert Jörgi is attacking right now against Tom Hartog, and the fighting. But Tom Hartog gets the worst line out of the, I guess, Renault Bocht 10. And into the Audi S, Albert Jörgi goes with the lead. In the meantime, Mikel Arteta is closing up to Chris Blue. They are keeping Pavel Peter far at bay. Peter now even out of the slipstream range, if I can see this correctly from this point of view. Mikel Arteta showing the pace of the NSX on the straight. You know, the NSX is a beast on the straight line. Unfortunately, they cannot really play that to their full advantage here on Zandvoort. There's not the longest of straights around here. They are better off around tracks like Bathurst or maybe even Barcelona. They are closing in on Chris Blue. They are keeping their distance. They are keeping a safe distance. Emilia Anderson, in the meanwhile, is trying to open up a gap to Akito Asasagawa in second place. Strong showing by the VTubers here today. Props to the VTubers for having overall P1 and 2. The only thing that's missing would be Merkur VR catching up to the two, but they would have to get past 4 different sim racers in order to achieve that. Now we have a bit of a battle going on here right behind the Koneko racing driver of Akito Asasagawa, and will be an overtake attempt probably by Le Casillas. Can they do anything out of the slipstream? Akito Asasagawa goes for the inside defensive line, and there is nothing that Le Casillas can do. Almost bumper to bumper. That was a close call between the sim racer and the VTuber. Further back, we've got Andrei Setek overtaking Mentrix, who is now taking their drive-through penalty. And we've got Adrian Dubrovka, who is on a mission right behind Trazione Integrale. Trazione going a bit off track there. Those chances are possibilities that Dubrovka would have to take, usually. But they are not doing at the time. What reason could that be? There's a yellow flag. It seems like Shike Hagen has gone off track. Let's view what happened there. Okay, Shike Hagen getting a bit unsettled already out of the exit of the Hugenholzbocht. And now, let's see what will happen into Scheivlak. Braking down quite heavily and just getting a bit of unsettled on the grass. Ah, that is unfortunate for Shike Hagen. That looks like quite a bit of damage on the vehicle. That might be their race 1 over at this point in time. Yeah, it seems like they are stopping. Are they resetting? Yes, they are. Unfortunately, this is the race for EK Hagen. Further up ahead, there is a 3-way battle still going on between Chris Blue, Le Casillas, and Akito Asasagawa. However, the 3 are keeping close contact. Nice driving going on between the 3, but Le Casillas is trying to move up. Are they just gauging the competition? Whereas they are not really competing with Asasagawa. They are only competing with Chris Blue, who's right behind them. Oh, and there's some touching as Chris Blue goes for a gap that wasn't there. Viewers are going to have a look at that. There was a contact right there. But that has gained Asasagawa some advantage, and Mikel Arteta is now suddenly within slipstream range again. But Arteta himself is being followed by Pavel Peter. Let's see if the Czech driver can go for an overtake attempt. No, but they unsettle Arteta a bit. That is sometimes all you have to do. Get into the head of the driver ahead of you. Into the head of the driver ahead. Lovely. I have my way with repetitions today. That rhymed. Wow. Anyways. Sometimes you just have to show yourself in the rear view mirror of the person ahead in order to unsettle them, in order to get their mind working a bit different, get their mind confused, concentrated off of the road. But it seems like Arteta has been able to regain their focus as they are growing the gap again between themselves and Peter. Further behind, Adrian Dubrovka is still behind Trazione and Integrale, but now Yuri Nikolai is also catching up to the two. Adrian Dubrovka trying to go for an overtake here, and it seems like they managed to make it stick. Now it is Yuri Nikolai's turn to do the same. Let's go on to the passenger view of Yuri Nikolai and see what they can do. Yuri Nikolai a bit under the might. I don't want to say might, but having to deal with Trazione Integrale in a way that is not the most common. Dealing with keyboard racers is sometimes difficult, but they manage to make do with it. Next is CTRACC, who is just lining up to make the move themselves, but they have to deal with the same challenge right now. Overtaking. Overtaking is never the most easy of things. No matter how quick or slow an opponent is, they're trying to go on the outside and they touch a bit with Trazione Integrale. That might be some very mild damage. However, Trazione Integrale goes wide, not directly because of the collision that has been too far gone, but Andre Zetek manages to make the overtake stick. Further up ahead, it seems like Akito Asagawa has been having some troubles. They lost 2 overall positions to both Chris Blue and Lecaseas. Chris Blue even currently being in the lead for the sim racing class. How did we miss the American coming up? But we are not going to miss Pavel Peter, who is attacking Mikel Arteta right now, closely following the, I'm just guessing here, Hispanic driver. Arteta. Sounds Spanish to me. But I don't know about that stuff. I am just a commentator. Ahead, however, Akito Asagawa is right in the slipstream. And right up the back of Lecaseas as they're coming up to a back marker, I believe. Yes, that is Mentrix. Negotiating back markers is always a challenge, and there's a yellow flag. What happened? Oh, they have to negotiate the back marker as he gets out of the way, dives out, and oh, there is some side-by-side contact between Asagawa and Lecaseas as Asagawa takes back their position. However, Lecaseas is not done yet, as are not done the people behind. There is a train of cars now forming for this P3 place. Let's show the focus on something we have not shown today. We have two McLarens racing right behind each other right now. Albert György, 69 in P9, and Victor Massato, the number 9 in P10. So Assetto would like to put that number 9 into P9. Further up ahead, Pavel Petr is looking very closely at their competitor Mikel Arteta. Let's check the helicam to see this 5-car train all of their glory as far as possible. The slipstream battles are commencing. Pavel Petr, it looks like they have the better run onto the start-finish straight, and right behind them is Merkur, who is not able to get an advantage out of this overtaking situation here, but they are surely looking to overtake Pavel Petr and to catch up maybe with their compatriots VTubers. There's a yellow flag for Christoph Retsch. Let's see what happened there. Might not have needed to go so far back. However, Christoph Retsch coming now into the second to last corner, running a bit wide, running a bit sideways, and just touching the inner guardrail. Getting going again, however, quite well. And there's a yellow flag for Trazione Integrale, who's now entering the pits. Like they had some collision. Back up ahead, we are still having a 5-way battle for overall P3 and P2 in 2 classes. Le Casillas is right now looking right at the back of Asuzagawa, but they will not be able to accomplish the overtake this time around. But there's a mistake by Asuzagawa, and there was some quick action having to be taken by Le Casillas in order to avoid contact there. However, right, because of this situation, Pavel Petr managed to close the gap again and are now right on the back of Le Casillas. This is the battle for P2 in sim class and P4 overall. What I can say in the meantime, however, is that there is an overtake attempt because there was a bit wide going by Le Casillas, and Pavel Petr is taking the advantage there. A bit of touching, but that is all within the rules. Mikel Arteta at the same time is trying to capitalize on this situation. However, are they able to do so? On the exit of the corner, maybe they are trying to get onto the outside, which is the inside for the second corner of the Audi S. Can they stay on the outside? It seems like they can stay side by side, but not far enough, and that was a touch. And Le Casillas is turned around. Very unfortunate for the Swiss driver, and that is going to have probably repercussions being looked at by the stewards for this incident between Mikel Arteta and Le Casillas. For now, we have a different battle on track. We have Andrzej Setek, who is picking up the pace and trying to get onto the back of Adrian Dubrovka. The two sim racers are battling it out for P. Let me count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in class. That is still a battle for 5 points. I guess. Something like that. Well, let's see the run onto the start finish straight. Is there anything going for the Czech driver? They can close the gap into the braking zone of Tarzanbocht, and now really reeling in the driver ahead of themselves. And I'm again losing my breath commentating here. I need to take a sip right now. They take now right on the back of Dubrovka. The Porsche getting a bit unsettled there. It looks like Zetek is really pushing for this position. But now comes the point at which Dubrovka is stronger, it seems like. And are they coming up to a back marker right there in front? They might just be. I think that is the Ferrari of Trazione Integrale. Yes, they're coming up to a back marker. They have to negotiate Integrale without troubles. Let us take a look at the passenger cam of Zetek. Very careful on the gas through the Arya Luyendyk-bocht. And let's see how Agent Dubrovka negotiates Integrale without a problem. Do they manage to catch the braking point, however? Oh, there's a bit of uncertainty there into the braking zone as to who has the right to the corner. Integrale moving out of the way in the last second. I believe Dubrovka got the better of this. However, they are not taking the best lines in this first sector right now. Zetek again being able to make up a bit of ground through these two corners. So, let's take stock at about 2/3 through the race. We have Emilia Anderson with a dominating lead, followed by Chris Blue, who is leading the SimRacer class right now. Akito Asazagawa, who is being followed by Pavel Peter. Mikel Arteta, who's being followed by Mirko VR right now. Then we have Tom Hartog in P7 overall, Albert Georgi, Victor Massato, Lekaseas, Anatoly Bujnovic, Christoph Retsch, Adrian Dubrovka, Andrei Zetek, Yuri Nikolai, Kanemoto, Mentrix, Okaban, Trazione Integrale, and Shike Hawken. And there has been an overtake. It seems like Andrei Zetek is attacking Adrian Dubrovka, and they managed to make it stick on the start-finish straight. Let us take a look at that more exactly. And there seems to be a problem with the colors there. Anyways, it seems like Zetek already had the position on the start-finish straight, and Dubrovka tried to retake that position. Further ahead, we have Mirko VR, who is currently in the slipstream of Mikel Arteta. Can the VTuber make some ground up on the start-finish straight? We are racing, keep in mind the GT3 rules of the Fanatec GT3 World Cup. And there's an off-track, that is Kageru Kanemoto. The back marker was off-track, a bit unsettled in the Jag. The Jag is looking very sad. Adrian Dubrovka is back up on the rear of Andrei Zetek. It seems like the first half of the lap is more for Zetek's liking, whereas the second half of the lap is more Dubrovka's thing. And can Dubrovka take their pace up onto the inside? It looks like they can, but in the braking zone, the Porsche has the upper edge on the Aston Martin. Now Dubrovka just needs to stay within the slipstream range for the first sector and the second sector, and then they have a chance to retake the position in the third sector again. Oh! That was a bit of a packet loss, I believe. We had Dubrovka flying in, and we have Mokaban overtaking Mentrix for position. Well done to our late joiner, but is the battle over yet? For a while it didn't seem so, and Mentrix is still on the back, but there's Zetek and Dubrovka coming in right behind them. Let us have a look how they are going to negotiate these backmarkers who are battling their own battle. Mentrix, however, has a bit of damage, it seems like. The bonnet is a bit up. He's not easily giving up the position, but now he has to be put off the racing track by Andrzej Zetek. The battle continues, and it looks like Dubrovka has gotten the worst of the backmarker shenanigans, as they are quite a bit behind now. Further up ahead, Pavel Peter has taken the position on Akito Asasagawa. Asasagawa is keeping up with them, however. We have less than 10 minutes and a yellow flag, which I sorely missed. What can Asasagawa do out of the slipstream here on the start-finish straight? They are trying to show themselves in the mirror of the Czech driver, but it is to no avail. As some people get thrown off by tactics like that, some people not so easily. Behind we've got Merkur VR currently directly on the back of Mikel Arteta. Can the Aston Martin driver do anything for the overall track position? Looks like they're losing a bit of ground through Scheivlak. That is unfortunate for the sim racer. And they are going a bit wide into Marlboro Bocht. And through Renault Bocht. They're taking a good line. A lovely little face in the bonnet there. But Asasagawa is still battling with Pavel Peter, as they had to negotiate a back marker again. Maybe Asasagawa can take a bit of more pace onto the start-finish straight. The Lexus is better in a straight line than the Porsche, but it is a very short start-finish straight. So the top speed advantage cannot really be played out by the Lexus. And that is the trouble that Asasagawa is having. Adrian Dubrovka, in the meanwhile, is still on the back of Andrzej Zetek, as they are negotiating another back marker soon. That must be Mokaban, who has shown a rather good pace, staying in front of these two front markers. Oh, as Adrian Dubrovka goes a bit wide into the gravel trap, and I believe that is the battle done for now. They really have to pick up the pace now in order to regain their track position from, even points paying position from the other sim racer. And unfortunately, we've got a drive-through penalty, probably for track limits for Trazione Integrale. Further up ahead, we've got Albert György, who is now picking up the pace and has caught up to Tom Hartog. They are fighting for P4 in their class. McLaren driver for Pannon Formula Esports. Pannonia? As the two are catching up to the battle of Pavel Peter versus Merkur VR. Pannonia. Isn't that a region to which Hungary belongs? That would make sense because György is a Hungarian racer. A Hungarian racer, not an Hungarian. Yeah, I said that. I know English, everyone. I know English. As these two battles continue, Merkur VR behind Peter as they come up to some back markers, it seems. Who is directly in front of them? No, that is Mikel Arteta, and is that a BMW back marker? That is Yuri Nikolai. What are they doing as far behind as they are? Going a bit off track here to let the back marker, the front marker, sorry, of Pavel Peter passed. Pavel Peter passed. That is an alliteration. Now Tom Hartog is right on the back of Albert György, who seemed to just do the overtake into the Audi S. My tea is almost empty. My tea is now empty. Merkur VR, however, is trying to attack Pavel Peter, who themselves trying to overtake the back marker of Mentrix as they go into the gravel trap, and behind them there are some other front markers coming. György and Hartog. Hartog is attacking György into the Hugenholzbox, and György goes a bit too deep. He is in too deep, but he's trying to keep up a buff in his head instead of going under. A cookie for whoever got the reference. Now the duo of Merkur VR and Pavel Peter are catching up to Mikel Arteta. This is becoming a three-way battle for overall P4 again. It's right behind us. Looks like Tom Hartog and Albert György are battling very closely with each other. Albert György trying to get the outside line into the inside for the Audi S, and the overtake seems to stick. And there's a turning around. No, not again. The exit of... That is the exit of the Audi S. It's the second time today it made such troublesome situations come to pass. Very unfortunate for Albert György, who now lost a few positions. But that is also going to be looked at by the stewards post-race. Pavel Peter, in the meanwhile, is right on the back of Mikel Arteta. Coming into shy of luck, what can the Oz e-racing driver do? Looks like not much at the moment. Further back a bit, Victor Massato is now on the rear of Tom Hartog. come through the same corner that we just witnessed.
Leaders on final lap now.
As we hear, Anderson is on the final lap. That means one more lap to try for Peter to overtake for P2 in class. One more lap for Andrzej Zetek to defend their position from Adrian Dubrovka, while they are directly behind Emilia Anderson. So they are on their final lap as well right now. Having been lapped by the front runner VTuber, Adrian Dubrovka is now going for a move, showing themselves in the rear view mirror of Zetek, but the move does not stick for now. Going a bit wide here in the Bocht 9. Out of Bocht 10, they cannot do too much. Let's switch back forwards to Pavel Peter, who is right on the back of Mikel Arteta. But before that, let's give a special shout out to, it seems like, our race winner Emilia Anderson. Only the Arje Luyendijk Bocht is still on. But that is not a problem, as there is an SG30 for Mentrix.
Leader has finished the race.
And Emilia Anderson has finished the race. Andrzej Zetek finished above Dubrovka. And let's look at this battle. Pavel Petr looks like they cannot do anything against the might of Mikel Arteta as they cross the finish line. So we got Emilia Anderson in P1, Chris Blue in P2, P1 in class, Akito Asagawa in P3, Mikel Arteta 4th, Pavel Peter 5th, Merkur 6th, Tartok 7th, Assetto 8th, Casillas 9th, and Albert Jörgi in P10, rounding out the top 10. That was a race 1, with some unfortunate mishaps happening in the Audi S. However, that one is called now. Actually, check. There's here Hans Ernst Bocht. Yeah, apparently it's the Hans Ernst Bocht now. I guess I'm gonna have to get used to calling it Hans Ernst Bocht now, instead of much easier to remember name of Audi S. Seems like there is some discourse going on in the chat. As we get ready for race 2 of the day. time, let us quickly go the championship. At that. We have the four standings. Emilia Anderson is currently leading the VTuber class, and it looks like Psycho Kaiser unfortunately left the champion, leaving Ivo VT Damasu to be the next person who is not here today, unfortunately. That means that's more to make up for Merkur VR and Victor Masato, who are in P4 and P5. In the sim racing class, we've got Oystein Brennum, who is absent today. In front of Sabo Gergely, who is absent today. In front of Anthony Sawaya, who seems to have left, and Chris Blue to be able to make up quite some positions today, as well as Pavel Peter and Le Casillas. And the Formula 1 references are going in the track. In the chat. Track, I already say. Ah. Get ready, in just a few seconds we are going to start the second race of the day. If everyone pressed drive this time, it looks like everyone did. So we're gonna have everyone racing from the grid, it looks like. Well, if nobody spins out now. Oh god. Please don't tell me I have commentary cost. We're going to see. We are going to see. Let's go through our starting grid one more time. We have Emilia Anderson starting in P1 ahead of Le Casillas, Akito Asasagawa, Pavel Peter, Mikkel Arteta, Chris Blue, Merkur VR, Albert Georgi, Victor Masato, Tom Hartog, Christoph Retsch, Anatoly Bujnovic, Adrian Dabrovka, Yuri Nikolai. Oh, they just switched position. Shike Hawken, Mentrix, Trazione Integrale, Anemoto, Mokaban, and Andrei Zetek. Emilia Anderson won the last race without any problems. What can she do this time? They. He, she, they, whatever. They! I am so sorry for butchering the pronouns. Let's keep with they for now. But I do have to say, to be fair, The car has a feminine touch, which is nothing bad. It's just a statement. Okay? Okay. I hope we can all agree on that. The white and pink is quite feminine. But then in the second row we have black and pink, which is much more manly. Which turns into a white and pink from the back. No, never mind. Never mind. As our drivers line up for the second race of the day, we've got 35 minutes of action ahead of us. 35 minutes of me trying to catch my breath while commentating, taking a sip of water. Remember to stay hydrated, everyone. Oh, I butchered that sentence. Anyways, 3, 2, 1, and we are go! This time Emilia Anderson got the better start in the second row. It looks like Asuzagawa is on the up. Can they immediately take the position of Le Casillas and try to keep up with Emilia Anderson even? Not right now. But we've got Pavel Peter, who already made up a position ahead of Mikel Arteta now. The timing tower tries to pick up the pace. And it looks like we lost Christoph Retsch. That is very unfortunate. It seems like they are very far in the back, and we have 2 yellow flags for Albert Jörgi. And what is that? That is a touch. That was a move. There was a yellow flag for Albert Jörgi. Maybe they went off track somewhere. Very unfortunate. But Pavel Peter is attacking Akito Asuzagawa, so Asuzagawa now has to defend instead of trying to catch up to Emilia Anderson. There's a yellow flag again. Andrej Setek seems to be turned around. That just stopped in the middle of the track. What happened here? Let's check the review. We are looking at the blue and red car. There is some error with loading the skin, apparently. What happens here? They just come to a halt. There might be some hardware troubles in that case. They're still standing there, and they have disconnected. What happened there? That is Andrej Setek's race done, however. Pavel Peter is now the only racer for Oz E-Racing still taking the fight. What can Pavel Peter do? Well, they can get attacked from the back because Arteta is catching up, as well as Chris Blue. And it looks like Chris Blue is going for an overtake here. Can they pull side by side with Mikel Arteta? They are surely trying, but is it enough to keep the inside line for the... I already forgot the name, Bocht. Yes, it is enough. Chris Blue manages to make the overtake stick. And now Arteta is under attack from Merkur. After a good start, it looks like Arteta is again losing the pace a bit. Right at the start of the race. That is not the best proceedings for the presumably Hispanic racer. Let me actually check that real quick. the Hong Kong. I almost said Moroccan. I'm very sorry, but flags look somewhat similar. So further back, there's Albert Georgi trying to catch up, keep up the positions, and maybe overtake Yuri Nikolai while doing so. Victor Masato, in the meanwhile, is fighting against Mokaban, as they are both catching up to Trazione Integrale. And there is a yellow flag. It looks like Mentrix is off the track. Unfortunately, Hawken and Kanemoto seem to have retired. Or pit. One of the above. Victor Masato manages to make the overtake stick. Well done to the Swiss driver. Further up ahead, we've got the battle still brewing between Asagawa, Peter, and Chris Blue. And Asagawa going a bit slowly into the Hugenholzbocht, prompting Pavel Peter to get out of their way. And there's Kageru Kanemoto, who rejoined the race, it seems like. Shike Hawken and Kanemoto were only in the pit for a pit stop, maybe to repair the vehicles after a coming together. However, all of these four drivers seem to negotiate the back marker. However, there's an attack now coming on Pavel Peter. Chris Blue is attacking. However, they're on the outside for the next corner. And that is the position that Mikel Arteta wants to be in. They are now on the inside. And they are punting off Chris Blue. Mikel Arteta, the Hong Kong driver, is punted off Chris Blue, who lost 2 positions thanks to that. Now they're coming up to Shike Hawken, the back marker. What will they do? Stay on the outside of Pavel Peter here, trying not to impede on races that are going on in front. It is hard as a back marker. It is also hard being Chris Blue right now, who lost 2 positions thanks to not their own doing. But that is going to get looked at by the stewards, most definitely. A bit further back, we've got Mokaban, who is catching up to Trazione Integrale. This is a dangerous battle because Mokaban is a quick driver. We know that. Unfortunately, they joined late, couldn't participate in qualifying, it seems. And there's a yellow flag for Albert Georgi. What happened there? Let's take a look. A bit offline. Oh, they take the jump off the curb. Zandvoort got hands, as they say. And there's a yellow flag for Yuri Nikolai. What happened there? Let's take a look. Oh, I can imagine what happened there. They are just going a bit offline there, and oh, that hurt. But luckily, they could rejoin the race without major problems. Just lost a bit of positions. Mikel Arteta, in the meanwhile, is attacking. They are on the forefront. They are going to attack the Czech Pavel Peter anytime. But Peter is a quick driver. Peter is a good defender. We have seen so last race already. Well, however, Peter was more in the attacking role, so let's see how the defense suits the Czech. Arteta has to be careful, however. Right behind them there is Merco VR, who is going to have something to say when it comes to overall track position. They are being attacked by Chris Blue. Looks like the two battles are a bit spreading out now. Got a yellow flag for Trazione Integrale. What happened there? Turning in to Scheivlak, turning a bit too little and taking out Dubrovka? No, not taking them out, just touching with them, seems like. Dubrovka is now ahead with a bit of damage, but it looks manageable. Mikel Arteta is still on the back of Pavel Peter. As there is, it seems like Mentrix on the inside of Hugenholz Bocht. There was a yellow flag for Dubrovka real quick as Chris Blue is on the back, on the forefront of the attack. They run a bit wide through Scheivlak, not managing to take the best line through there, losing a bit of ground on Merco VR as Emilia Anderson has the purple lap. Let's take a look from the start who were the winners and losers. The winner so far seems to be Ottopan, who made up 4 positions at the start, followed by Bujnovic, who made up 3 positions, as well as Trazione Integrale, who made up 3 positions. Christoph Retsch is the loser of the start, losing a total of 5 positions until now. Bujnovic made up so many positions. He's right in front of Albert György, a man on a mission. The Hungarian wants to advance the ranks. They are definitely pacey enough to do so. But can they manage to go for an overtake? Even here, Bujnovic did not have the best line through the Arje Luyendijk Bocht. But not even that was enough to help the McLaren get the upper hand in this battle. Seems like there's a battle between Yuri Nikolai and Agent Dubrovka. There was an overtake. Let's take a look. Yuri Nikolai indicating and braking. Ooh, there was a bit of a ping issue there, it seems. For the overtake for P12. Victor Massato in the meanwhile managing to overtake Anatoly Bujnovic. What is happening to Bujnovic? Let's check back with the helicam. Going a bit wide through Scheivlak. They're getting attacked and they're just going a bit off track there. Into Bocht 9. So they lost 2 positions for the price of 1 mistake. Agent Dubrovka, in the meanwhile, is catching up to Yuri Nikolai. See what they can do on the straight. It's a BMW M4 versus the Aston Martin V8 Vantage. The Vantage closes the gap a bit, Constantinaing together. Just the tiniest bit. But it was not enough so far to take the position back that they lost. Further ahead, we've got Chris Blues managing to catch up to Merkur VR because there is the back marker of Mentrix, I believe. And managing to make the overtakes stick. As there's a yellow flag with Adrian Dubrovka. What happened there? Let us take a look back. Through Scheivlak they go, as Adrian Dubrovka loses connection again. There seems to be a bit of a ping issue, unfortunately, with the Polish driver. Merkur VR has not given up on the position they have lost to Chris Blue yet. Keeping right on the back of the American. Can they catch up a bit more? The gap seems to be opening between the two drivers. Seems like Chris Blue just has the quicker pace right now, right at this moment in time. Agent Dubrovka in the meanwhile is catching up again to Yuri Nikolai. As they come into the, I forgot the name, Bocht, and into Bocht 9. Apparently it's not called Marlboro Bocht anymore. And Bocht 10, which is apparently not called Renault Bocht anymore. Losing a bit of ground through these two corners, getting sideways and spinning out, however. Oh, that is very unfortunate for the Polish driver. Just going a bit off track managed to unsettle them so much that they now lost 5 seconds, even 7 seconds. Now, as we're about halfway through the race, let's take a bit of a resume of how the race has been going. We have Emilia Anderson for Execute in the race lead. Pretty dominating race lead for the VTuber. Le Casellas for Turner Motorsport is in P2. Akito Asasagawa racing for Koneko is in P3. Pavel Peter is in P4 racing for Oz E-Racing. And P5 is Mikkel Arteta for Mooncraft Jax. The top 10 are completed by Chris Blue, Merkur VR, Tom Hartog, Albert Georgi and Victor Massato. Following these drivers are Anatoly Buinovic, Yuri Nikolai, Adrian Dubrovka, Mokka Ban, Trazione Integrale, Christoph Retsch, GK Hawken, Mentrix and Kanemoto. Christoph Retsch, however, seems to be picking up the pace a bit now, getting to catch up to Trazione Integrale. Trazione Integrale lets them pass without a problem, it seems. As they go wide. Further up ahead, we have Pavel Peter, who just had a yellow flag there for a second. Let's take a look if anything happened. Did they perhaps go flying? No. Oh, they just lost connection for a bit. Okay. So that is a thing still. as they are catching up Akito Asuzagawa. Seems to be a yellow flag as Trazione Integrale hit the wall and that's the pits. Pavel Peter, just in time for Pavel Peter to not having to deal with that. On the start-finish straight, we know that the Porsche has a disadvantage to the other cars around it. The Honda is a top-speed monster, as well as the Lexus. So Peter will have to make up ground on the more technical sections of the racetrack in order to get that position, to get that overall P3 for the sim racers away from the VTubers. As Akito Asuzagawa runs wide through the gravel we saw in the foreground. That is Pavel Peter managing to make up a bit of ground to their direct front runner. Can the Czech driver do? Then they go for an overtake through the... I forgot the name, bocht. That was the Hans Ernst bocht. Yes. That is a German sounding name. I should be able to remember that, being Austrian myself. Anyways. Pavel Peter. Let's see. They seem to be not gaining anything. Breaking they're Constantining a bit into each other, and Mikel Arteta getting a bit nervous there, it seems, having to take a bit of an evasive maneuver. The three are however now entangled in a three-way battle for overall P3. There's a lot of threes. Unfortunately, none of the drivers have a 3 in their number. That would have been even better. This time Asuzagawa manages to keep it steady through Scheivlak. And Pavel Peter manages to make a bit of ground up anyways. This seems to be the section they are strongest at. The bochts without names. I believe the one before there was a Masters bocht. Anyways, we go into the Hans Ernst bocht now again. And yes, I remembered it. I didn't have to cheat. Didn't have to look it up. Now I have to look up because we're going into Kumho. God, that is a bad name for English audiences. Kumho. Written Kumho. As we have a spin, well, not a spin, but Mikel Arteta going a bit off track and losing ground there. That is very unfortunate for the Honda NSX driver. Exit of Arje Luyendijk bocht became their undoing. Lost 2 positions, Chris Blue and Mirko VR in the... Christoph Retsch, in the meanwhile, is continuing their charge up the order and through Masters bocht, managing to overtake Mokka Ban. Goes a bit wide, however, into bocht 9. Gets it steady in bocht 10, however, goes still a bit wide in the Audi. As further ahead, the battle continues between Pavel Peter and Akito Asuzagawa. Let's check with the onboard cam. I have to say, very nice lines being driven here by Pavel Peter. Still, you can see they are losing ground on the start-finish straight. Oh, a bit of unsettling for Assetto. Can Pavel Peter take advantage of that unsettlement? It doesn't look like it. We have 9 minutes left to go in this race and a few seconds probably. Mikel Arteta is in the pits, probably repairing the damage they've got. Pavel Peter, in the meanwhile, is still on the back of Assetto. This is the closest battle we have on track right now. A battle for overall P3, a battle between the Czech driver and the French driver. So they're coming up to a bit of back markers. How will they negotiate them? Let's go on board with Pavel Peter again and see the back marker action happen. We come into the Hans Ernst Bocht, and Kanemoto is the first of the back markers, getting out of the way pretty easily. On the side of the road, that was, I believe, Mentrix. Now we're coming up to Mokka Bun, and I would have to guess Yuri Nikolai. Mokka Bun is no obstacle for Assetto as Integrale waits on the exit of the pit lane, and there is Mokka Bun going out, diving out of the way of Pavel Peter. No, they are catching up to Licaseas actually. That is a front runner, not a back runner up ahead there. The battle is on for P2, it seems. But the question is, will they work together? No, that is Assetto going to the side, and Pavel Peter tries to take the opportunity here the best they can, but onto the acceleration and into the braking zone. Who has the better braking? Seems to be Pavel Peter, but they cannot pull alongside with Assetto for the overtake. All of this battling is helping Licaseas to advance their position, to get a bit more of ground between themselves and battle behind him. Christoph Retsch now had a yellow flag. Let us take a look what happened there. On the exit of the area, Luyendijk-Bocht just going a bit onto the curb and getting unsettled. Losing quite a bit of pace in the process. Now back to the battle of Pavel Peter and Akito Asagawa. I know I've been saying those names a lot, but they are racing the closest we can. And we are coming up to even more back markers now. There is one more back marker right in front of them. That must be the Audi of Christoph Retsch, who we just saw getting a bit unsettled as Pavel Peter Konstantinas right up into the alley of Asagawa. All of this battling is helping Chris Blue advance their position. Chris Blue is now suddenly again within a second of Pavel Peter. It looks like Asagawa is pushing to the maximum of their limits, getting a bit unsettled on the exit here as well. Pavel Peter trying to go the inside. They were not close enough, however. Asagawa going a bit unsettled and Pavel Peter going a bit wide. This is helping Chris Blue, who is suddenly catching up and going a bit wide onto the grass. They're losing a bit of pace in the process. This time around they can probably not do anything against the Porsche. It's not Porsche, it's Porsche. Yes, I should know that. Mr. Porsche was an Austrian person. How you know? Not a German brother. No. There's a yellow flag for Adrian Dubrovka. Let us check what happened there. Maybe they caught the curb. Or they lost a bit of connection. The second of which. Back to the battle at hand. We have Pavel Peter in a sandwich position between a Frenchman and an American. That is not the best position to be in, I have to admit. But what can Pavel Peter do about this situation? They technically do not need to overtake. They do not need to overtake the VTuber in front of them, because that would just be an overall position. That would not be for a point. Chris Blue, however, has everything to gain by overtaking Pavel Peter, as they are lapping Adrian Dubrovka right there. Chris Blue is fighting for, let me calculate that a bit, 20, 16, 4 points for a 4-point advantage. And there is Mentrix rejoining the track in the worst possible timing. Asagawa, despite this confusion, manages to keep the position. But Pavel Peter is now closer than ever, and it's probably only one more lap soon. Chris Blue, however, is on the attack as well, and as I said already, they are fighting for points. They are fighting for the championship positions even, and Chris Blue manages to make the overtake stick into the Hans Ernst Bucht. There's Pavel Peter losing a position, and a confirmation that Anderson has now started the final lap of the race. That means all of these people coming now across the start-finish line are 2 starting the final lap of the race. Let's check in with our race leader Emilia Anderson, who is already at the Rob Slotemaker bocht. Well, they have dominated both of these races, 2 overall wins. Very strong showing from the VTuber. Come through Masters bocht. Go a bit on board. There's a yellow flag. That was Pavel Peter. That seemed to have just been a connection issue once again. But back to Emilia Anderson we go. It is the last lap. Emilia Anderson is leading the race, and only they can stop themselves from winning this race. Going quite safe through the Hans Ernst bocht. Coming on to the Arje Luyendijk bocht for the last time this day and this season.
Leader has finished the race.
Emilia Anderson is your 2 times race winner today, in front of Leka Seas, who comes around the start-finish line now. Akito Sasagawa is 3rd, followed by Chris Blue and Pavel Peter. Mirko VR is in 6th position. There is a gaggle of riders that are not racing each other, trying to finish their own independent races. Tom Hartog looks like he's finishing in 7th position. Albert Georgi, who is now coming to the Arje Luyendijk bocht, seems to be finishing in 8th position. Victor Masato in 9th, and Bujnovic will be rounding up the top 10. Boy, this has been some racing. Let us take a look at Emilia Anderson's livery here. And with this look on the race winner, I have to say thank you very much for watching. This has been Julian Strasser. This has been TRACC.eu. This has been IVGTC for the day. Next week we are going to race once more. Quickly checking where we are racing. We are racing the Japanese V-Prix at Suzuka. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I'll see you then.